Welcome back, everyone, to another episode review of Black Lightning. Tonight's episode, Black Jesus. Okay, not that Black Jesus, but you know what we're talking about. So the episode starts off, and apparently one of the kids OD'd in the bathroom at the high school. And Jefferson is not too happy about this. And then we kind of do a cut to Tobias meeting Lady Eve at her place of business. I gotta say, this was an intense scene to kind of watch. I can barely even get the words out. So who wants to describe what was going on in this scene?
I'll speak on this. First of all, let me get a shout out to Jill Scott. Masterful as always, beautiful woman, and like I said again, I'm in awe of her acting talents because she carried the hell out of this scene. But with that being said, like the whole portrayal of it, you see her in this calm demeanor as she goes to work, and you know, you get a sense that she's a mortician, as she pretty much tells Tobias about herself. And I love this engagement between them because you can see the clear authority that she has over him. Mind you, Tobias has been the big bad that we've seen so far in these first couple episodes.
Correct.
But we see her and, you know, she's like, you know, you pretty much lied on your resume. Yep. You told us that you killed the HNIC and he's still walking around. So, and that's the only reason you're in the position that you're in right now. So what we supposed to, and then Tobias is like, trust me, I'm gonna take care of it. He's making excuses like he's an henchman.
So we do get some revelation with this exchange. Tobias was given the 100 by this organization. So
in other words, he's an underling of
he has a seat. He has a small seat at the big table.
But then we look down and see that she's working on a live dude. Now I don't know what that kid did to get put on that table and get operated on like that. But I swear to God, he ain't gonna do it no more.
He's dead. That's why.
So moving on, Ant Farm, she visits Nellie at the hospital, and she wants to quit track. All right, real quick thing to point out here in this episode. If you guys didn't catch it, Ant Farm has lightning bolt earrings in there, which I'm really loving, really digging that, by the way. But, you know, she takes this information back to her parents that she wants to quit track, and the only reason she did it was because her dad, Jefferson, wanted her to do it. So how do you feel about this?
Like I said in the beginning when we were talking about this character in our previous reviews, like I said, she could have easily been annoying, but this is just, once again, they're developing her character and basically seeing where it goes from here. I think out of everybody in the show thus far, I think her end game is going to be rewarding, despite the fact that we know she eventually gets superpowers and becomes a hero and whatnot. But like, they're not even worried about that now. They're worried about her coming of age, as it were, and what that means in this environment and with her family.
I get a more of a Varsity Blues feels from her, where she was, I don't want to live your life, and basically that's how she's been living. Like, think about her, and we've noticed that her life has been set since she's first been going to school. It's like, we want you to do this, we want you on this track, and she's finally shaking the tree. It's like, goddamn, I'm my own person. Let me do what I want to do.
I do like these family moments. It's not a downer in these episodes because we get to see the side of the superhero who's like, he not necessarily has it all, but we see him trying to piece everything together. And Jefferson is not a perfect father. On the outside looking in, it may seem that way, but on the inside of us actually viewing this, you know, he's just a guy just trying to get by, just like any of us. So I really appreciate that aspect of the show. We're going to jump forward a little bit. So Tobias is not happy because, you know, Lady Eve chewed him out and Black Lightning's running the street. So Tobias pays a visit to the doctor who told him that Black Lightning was dead. You know, he said, you know, we saw a body, and this line was kind of funny. He was like, did the body that come in here, was he dressed like Earth, Wind, and Fire? So, shout out 70s Black Lightning.
If you have a polyester suit and a chain, was his fro picked to perfection? These are the things I must know.
So, like I said, Tobias wasn't happy about this, and he has henchman number I don't know what number he is, but he beat this man with brass knuckles.
Crack Boy Slim didn't have to do that, man. And Crack Boy Slim was like, "You gotta pay me money." Even when he did it, he had like this spectrum look on his face. I was like, bro.
You know what I love about his henchmen? They don't talk.
They don't
talk.
I mean, we don't care about their lives.
Exactly, we don't. I don't need their backstory. I don't need their boss. You know, do your job.
Okay,
all the henchmen that we feed don't talk are also
Yes, we've noticed. Moving forward a little bit more, Inspector Henderson and his wife is having dinner with Jefferson and his family, and the conversation gets a little heated. You know, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, Black Lightning. So, of course, as Inspector Henderson is saying, Black Lightning is a vigilante. He's doing more harm than good, and this is not trying to hear this.
Like I said, I don't like this character because he comes off as dry, but also it's like he's a robot almost because he said the same thing like over every episode, and it's like we get it. Like the only time this character to me spoke volumes was in the last episode when he talked down the Reverend about his dealings and whatnot. Yeah. And then after that, if he's a vigilante, he's solving more problems than causing blah. It's like,
so yeah, I will agree that they're probably not giving Henderson much to do outside of the police aspect of things. Just we're going to give the standard, police versus vigilante speech every now and then. Yeah. But hopefully they'll let him come into his own when, of course, eventually he's going to come close and maybe find out Jefferson is Black Lightning. That's just writings on the wall. What's your take on this?
First of all, one thing I love to point out that this was like pretty much a conversation between a younger state of thought and an older state of thought. Mm-hmm. And pretty much like everybody at the table was pretty much like looking at her like, we've been in your position. We've been in that same position where we're like, yeah, the vigilante is taking it to the streets and he's doing what needs to be done. But then the older people were like, hey, once you've been through that battle, once you've grown up a little, you have a different take. So watching the young minds and the old minds go back and forth, I thought that was an interesting take. But she was spilling all the tea. Lipids went out of business. McDonald's stopped serving the Southern style. It wasn't no more tea left in the building. She was telling the police about themselves to his face. I was like, man, his wife is sitting right there. Well, show a little respect. and then when the one called me the piece de resistance was my boy Jefferson. Sat back and was like,
must be Mrs. Winters.
It's a hint of Popeyes in here. This is great tea.
So yeah, Jefferson was definitely proud of his girl because she reminded him of himself when he was younger, and probably right now as well. All right, since we're talking about Nessa, she got out into those streets and took matters in her own hand. All right, what we forgot to mention at the beginning was she ran into some dealers who she knew was selling some green light, is what they're calling it, to the school. So she went to go find homeboys and gave them a piece of her mind.
So the franchise boys was talking slick to her, not knowing that she A-Town strong. And then it was like, then they call her a bitch too.
Yeah,
like,
earlier in the episode.
Early in the episode, they call her a bitch. You didn't think that was cooking on the back burner? You thought she forgot about that?
It shows you how much pettiness is in her.
But this points to another fact. She needs training. She hit one dude so hard, his throat was beating in his throat. I was like, yo, pull back a little.
His throat was beating. His throat was beating in his throat.
His heart was beating in his throat.
One could say that she committed unprovoked assault. The only thing I'm thinking about is how green light is such a silly drug name. Even if the drug is fictional.
Look, shout out John Legend and Andre 3000 for green light. That was a hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I rock that every day on my radio.
No, you don't.
She was laying their ass out. They was like, this bitch crazy.
See a spaceship on Bankhead.
Oh, Bankhead. That's what that green light is.
All right, speaking of green light, Gabby, he did his analysis. He said green light is like crack and PCP. got together and had a baby.
Out of wedlock. You know how hardcore the drug you got. Like, look, it was the look on Gaby's face too. He was like, "Do you know what this shit is?"
I've seen Breaking Bad, and I've never seen shit like this before.
My boy Gabby was like, "This that Mississippi green." Y'all know he didn't put it in his pocket. He never put it back on the table.
So Jefferson, he finds out who's supplying the green light. It's a pimp named Two Bits, aka Wyclef Jean.
Wyclef did. Okay, first he tried to warn Wyclef. He was like, "Wyclef, you and the Fugees, you pack that shit up and leave, because the cops is on you." And he was like, "Nah, the bottom."
Wyclef is Haitian. So basically, Wyclef wasn't trying to hear that. And he was like, "Hey man, Jeff, I'm just going about your business." So Black Lightning pays Wyclef a visit. And it's a whole different tune. I'm talking, we got 70s music playing in the background because of course 2-Bit is a 70s pimp.
I thought porno had came on. I was like, "Yo, we can't be watching this as a group."
What got me was when Black Lightning hit the door, everybody hit the back door.
But people were diving under the tables. One dude ran back into the kitchen and started cooking. I was like, "Yo, y'all need to chill." But the part that got me was, okay, you can't hit everybody with electricity. I'm like, well, so the one dude, you gonna stop somebody harder if you keep doing that. But when he grabbed old Wyclef, he was like, "One, when the next time you come out with an album?" And he was like, "Two, why you keep selling that shit on my streets?"
So,
to quote Vice Principal Bay, you can't favor them all.
We'll get to her.
Joke that like, but they get punched in the chest and like
so he gave him a choice. It was like, okay, it wasn't really a choice. It was like, "I'm gonna punch you in the face." And Wyclef knew this, but he was like, this was the funny moment in the episode. It was like, "Before you punch me in the face, can I get a selfie?" And I love the bargain because it was actually some real stuff in there. "Hey man, this is gonna be my third strike. Don't give me like 30 years of life. Don't do a brother like that. So I'm gonna get right, stop selling the green light, and just take this ass whooping like a man."
But the part that killed.
I actually liked both of those things when he came in as Jefferson and as Black Lightning because it shows like 2-Bits is a layered character as well. Like he's not something because he easily could have just rolled up on Jefferson and pull a gun or anything like that. But he was cordial with him when he was Jefferson, and he was kind of cordial with him when he was Black Lightning.
He was a bitch made when it was like that. The part that got me was he was like, "Look, Black Lightning, I know you're gonna beat my ass. I know this. We all know this. But say cheese."
Moving forward a bit, we're back at the high school. Homeboy Bernard was a student who OD'd. School board's trying to expel him. Jefferson's not trying to hear this. He's talking to Vice Principal Bay, and she's like, maybe just let the school board do what they got to do. And she quotes she said something that kind of threw me off guard. You can't save them all. And I was just like, man, as an educator, even Jefferson said it. It's like, if my teachers took this approach, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And I was just like, really? This is what the vice principal was talking about?
But it speaks truth to power. I mean, no matter how good your intentions are, you really can't rescue everyone. And she made a point too, it eventually has to come up to the students. They have to do their part to want to be successful too. You can't just carry them and hold their hands. And that was a message in itself. No matter how hard or good your intentions are, unless the other person is willing to fucking try, then there's no point. But one part you skipped in there that I thought was beautiful was the exchange between the kid, his dad, and Jefferson. And then he was up there like, and it even speaks to like kids today, where they still try to act hard no matter the situation.
I ain't no snitch.
I ain't no snitch. And his dad's like, "Boy, you gonna tell on everybody. In fact, you gonna record telling on everybody."
We finally got some more Grace Choi on the screen. They're leaving the bar, and they're just having regular conversation. At the same time, Black Lightning is staking out what's going on at a warehouse where drugs are being moved out. And, some goons, I don't know, henchmen number number 5, number 50 shows up. They was like, you know what? Grace, we said we was gonna come back, and here we are. But what they didn't know is that she had a secret weapon with her.
Yeah, what she had in her bag was a case of ass whooping, and she opened the entire can. First of all, the scene that sticks out to me is that you see legs. In the security cam video, you see legs flying in the air. I was like, this is so beautiful. But
yeah, so Black Lightning, he hears thunder, explosions going on, and he's like, yo, something's going on.
I feel it feels familiar. It feels like I know that sound. Like I can feel it in my soul.
Like I birthed this ass whooping. I gotta go see what's going on. So he shows up on the scene. All the goons are laid out. It's cracks in the pavement. Car is messed up. She, Grace and Anissa already left the scene. So he's like, I'll figure out what's going on with this later.
My boy Gambit was like, no, I need to figure out what's going on right now.
He grabbed his shotty. He hit those streets.
He didn't even try to attempt to hide it. He was out there broad daylight.
Like, still carried.
I want to find out what happens when a bitch dies. like Gambit's a little too small, but it's all good. I need you to draw that back a little. Like he had a hard on, like.
Is there a meta?
Let's go get it. As a matter of fact, I'll take a bullet out. Come and get it.
So Gabby's doing his own investigative research, and he's eventually probably going to put together that Nissa is causing a scene. She's out there doing her thing. So, which will probably bring a hint of joy to his life. But we'll see what happens when we get there. So, moving along. Turns out Tobias got a sister. I'm not just talking about, just a sister. He has an actual sister who comes to town. She's a sister, but she's also his sister. She comes to town, and apparently all the way from Florida, and she's like, yo, so nice to see you, bro. So we're going to kill Black Lightning, right?
I mean, she put her bags down. She washed her hands. She ain't gonna take a piss. Yo, we're gonna get this murder on. I was like, yo, chill. I got a hot pocket in the microwave. Can I get a second?
So the sister has a plan. She's like, you know what? Let's just turn the people against Black Lightning. That's how we can bring him down. It's one of these art war kind of not direct approach kind of methods that we're going to take here. I can appreciate that a little bit because it's going to help drag the episodes out a little bit more.
Pretty much using a version of the 48 Laws of Power. And one thing I did love about this is that the fact that, because one thing that we pointed out about the kid, Nelly Jr., was that he did symbolize hope and a future, and then eventually he turned into Ricky. So pretty much he was the hope in the future till that future got cut down. And now we're supposed to see how that future's being corrupted and poisoned and slowly turned. So now that hope, because even in the beginning they was like he had Olympic ambitions, he had a bright future ahead of him. Now if you take that and you aim that bullet towards Black Lightning, that's the whole young mission you need.
So before the episode ends, turns out Bernard is not back on the right track just yet. He is addicted to green light. I'm not talking about the song. He's addicted to that stuff. And Bernard's dad calls Jefferson because, how could things get worse?
I tell you how it got worse. He got his ass beat. When you call him for help, you don't gotta tell him every detail about your ass whooping. You could have been like, hey, I tried to get my son, and 50 of them came out, and I took down 10.
Too many. You could let that man.
Nah, he wanted the detail. Oh man, they pistol whipped me. Went over, urinated on my leg.
It was a bit detailed, his message to Jefferson.
I had to suck on a baseball bat. Damn, homie.
He could have just said send help. So Black Lightning shows up. He goes to the drug house to shut shit down. All right.
He goes to the drug house where they just pistol whip somebody and nobody shoots at him.
Nobody shoots at him.
I guess they wasted that one gun out.
Well, let me speak on something for a second. And this is with the kid Bernard.
Right.
Him ODing. But this all goes back to what the lady said, like prior to the 30 minutes into the episode. She was like, "You cannot save them all." Here you are. You just gave him the chance of a lifetime. He was supposed to be gone, and you gave him this chance, and then he just sat there and literally wasted it all.
Well, I won't say. Okay, I definitely get what you're saying. That's definitely what it appears. But we've also been given the premise that this green light stuff is dangerous. Like, he had his whole future given back to him, and this drug is so powerful, he just went to go throw it away.
But then it still stems to what she says. They have to. It depends on him. And if he knew he wasn't strong enough to fight it, then he should have said something.
But at the same time, it does come down to choice, and it does come down to environment. And so we're seeing these things put together and how they battle each other and the outcomes of those things. So all in all, I say we got a good representation of that in this episode of environment versus choice. So that was our take on Black Lightning, Black Jesus episode. Let us know your thoughts about the episode. How did you feel about the circumstances, the outcomes, and everything? Like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. We are doing a series this month called The Power of Color. So every day on our channel, we are releasing content describing heroes of color in the comic book world. So if you subscribe every day, you'll get that notification. Thanks for watching. Please come back. We'll be back next week. And see you later.
That man didn't have to cry like that. Okay, dude on the phone, Black Lightning, they beat me.